Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, 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 everyone. All right, so we're gonna start the Martine show in a minute. Cindy is already here waiting. Welcome aboard, everybody. This is the Martine show, and we have a special guest tonight, and that is Michelle Boulden-Hammond, from writer, performer, who's with us today, and we're going to celebrate her as she shares her journey with us. So, for those of you who don't know, Tuesdays and Thursdays is normally where we come on for the Martine show, okay? And what we do is celebrate people live on Instagram. And with that being said, the show is all about self-love. It's always a self-love journey. People will talk about themselves and their self-love journey. And we will get into three main categories, which is self-awareness, self-development, and everything social. Everything that we discuss comes straight from the guests on the show. So at this point, we're going to welcome Miss Michelle Boulden-Hammond.
Hello. Can you hear me? This is the first time I ever did
I live on
Instagram.
Instagram. I could tell it's not a problem. We could hear you, but the only thing is that your camera is sideways. So we see you sideways. You would have to adjust it. Yes, there you go. Perfect now. We could see you straight ahead.
This is wild.
It keeps turning around. So apparently, yeah, I don't know.
All right. There
You're
we
gonna see.
go.
There you go. You're gonna see how fun Instagram is. Okay. And I want to tell you, you're not the first one who actually says this to me because they're like, I don't do lives on Instagram. I was like, well, you're going to do one now.
Well, this is different.
So welcome aboard. How are you?
I am wonderful. And again, thank you so much, Martine, for having me on your platform tonight. I am excited to be here.
You're so welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm excited to have you here. I've actually been connected with you since 2019 when I was first nominated for Achi Awards.
Yes.
And I've been watching you on and on and on. I comment every now and then, but I'm delighted to have you on, because I've been watching your journey and I was just like, oh, she's doing a lot of different things. But then at the same time, when you mentioned to me the age bracket for you, and I was even more amazed. And I was like, wow, okay, there's a whole different echelon here.
It is. It is. It truly is. And I think I got confirmation for tonight. That's why, I talked about it to you last night. And I think I got confirmation today because I was at a place today and the lady said, it's like, what happened to me when I turned 50? Things change. And that's what happened with this. Last year, right before the brink of everybody stopping everything for COVID, I made this list and I'm like, hey, I've really looked at my life. I'm like, hey, I'm 50 years old here this year. I'm half of 100. So it's time, things that I really want to do. What was stopping me now? So that is one of the things, how this came about, is that was on my list of things to do. To say I've been singing all my life since 5. I've been in plays. I've been on praise and worship teams, been in plays, all types of stuff. And I'm like, I do this for everybody else. Well, why not do it for myself? So
Yes.
So when Tamika Joy, I met with her and I told her, I said, look, I have this idea. But first I was like, I'm not a writer. But then I was like, yes, I am. And then God brought back to me the book. My very first book was this poem that I wrote in Seize a Moment to Inspire, which was in 2017. She said, you already have the song. Use that. So I was like, yeah. So I went and just revised a little bit, add a little bit more words to it. I gave it to her. I said, look, I don't do the notes and all of that type of stuff. I just write the words. So we picked out what would be for my voice. And this is how Seize a Moment came to be, volume 2. So
Wow, 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 wow. I am super excited just listening to your voice. Just, I'm telling you, it's just so much about you. And I just hope we were able to get down to a lot of it because you're like, to me, I feel like you're a person who has a big full bag of tricks. Like you have so much goodies in that bag about you, you know, with your talent and gifts and all. It's just amazing.
and that's a God-given thing because not everybody can do that. Because
Yes.
I thank him for that. Because when people look at me, they was like, and it's funny because even at the release a month ago, the MC Diane, she was like, it's like every new year he gives her something else to do. We like, what? We can't keep following. But I believe that's a way again for me to get his message that he
Mhm.
still works through us. If he
Yes.
gives it to us for a reason, he does not. I'm just that type of person. And we talk about faith because I did bring that up to you last night. See,
Yes.
the realm of people forget it says faith without works is dead. You got a faith is an action word. So I don't believe after prayerful, I don't believe that he gives you these creative ideas for you to sit around and ponder on them. Because
Hmm.
so many of us can miss it.
Absolutely. And I really love the fact that you stated that faith without work is dead because it is dead. You
It's
know, it is
yes,
totally dead. I mean, I truly believe there is a time to stay put and surrender, you know, and really sometimes you have to remove yourself from the limelight. That's okay, but you still have to be working some way somehow in the background, you know,
exactly.
and it's still work by all means, but it's off the radar, you
Right.
know, type of thing. And then once that part is accomplished, then you could come back and be on the radar, which is being back in the limelight and doing what you do. But you have to listen to that moment in time where you just have to sometimes just pull back.
Most it definitely. And you just said it in the limelight. You know, people like what you're saying. You say you've been following me for 2 years. You're right.
Yes.
It's a specific time, but how I got here is always because I've been in the back burner, always been working behind the scenes, and I still this is like all new to me. I'm like, but he's given me favor where I'm walking into different realms that I'm walking into. And I don't count it robbery that he's doing it. He's really, truly blessing. This came together in November of last year, and now it's here. You hear about how song people take for years to get something, and then for constantly to be on this show, being asked to perform this place. And I tell people it's because the seeds that I've sown now is the increase because God is getting the increase out of
Yes.
this now. People weren't, you have not seen the rejection that I've had in the beginning because, you weren't good enough for this or per they say, but I knew, I just stood on his word. A lot of people, you ain't ready for this. You're not ready to
Mm.
be in for, or even how the first book came is because I worked 4 years at a job and just one day went to work. They were like, forget it. But that's when this all starts. So this is why it pushed me to where I'm at now. So
Wow.
yeah. So and it's so funny. I'm all about the song, but there's also a book to this.
That's so fun. Oh my
I haven't
God.
even
That's
really been
amazing.
marketing the book at all. But
You got to
there's
market
a
the book, girl.
volume 2 to this.
Yeah.
I haven't even been marketing the book at all. But yeah,
Okay.
there's a message to that because with the book, it's a 30-day journal that you do to yourself. You take 3 times out the day to meditate and just be like, my morning affirmation statement, my afternoon, and then you do an evening reflection. Today, I seize the moment to inspire. Who, if not what was my challenge?
This is very powerful. I want to take the time to acknowledge the people in the chat. We have True
Yes.
Intelligence. Thank you so much for being with us. Tatita Love 301, welcome aboard. Thank you so much. Reggie VM11, thank you for attending. Really appreciate it. By the
Yes.
way, guys, I hope you guys took the opportunity to read the biography on Miss Michelle Boulden-Hammond's, okay, right now. If you haven't done it, go do it, because there's going to be a trivia question where she's going to give away a prize that is courtesy of Miss Michelle Boulden-Hammond. Okay. I don't know what the question is, so don't even try to ask me for the answer. All right. You got to go read the biography. All right. Take notes on the biography. So when she does ask the question, you guys are clear and know what the answer is, and you could put it in the chat. And the person who basically has the right answer is going to be the designated winner. This is all Miss Michelle Boulden-Hammond, not me. Okay?
So
says,
top tier, I love 301 as is lose from your old job. And if she's talking about lose Lewis, yes.
okay. I guess there's a connection.
Yeah, she said it's lose from your old job. Yeah, if it's lose Lewis that she's talking about, and that is so funny because
you see how the connection comes.
I'm just like this is a connection here. So
yeah,
this is what this is about. Yeah, lose is from my old. If it's she's talking about lose Lewis, Filipina lady. Luz actually was my training nurse when I became a nursing assistant over 30 some years ago.
Wow.
Yes.
At Methodist Hospital.
Not at the Methodist, but I worked with her at the nursing home. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to work at Methodist Hospital, but I don't remember Luz. I don't remember Luz. So there were so many people I can't even remember. No, but you never know. So talking about your endeavors. So you do have a book. You're definitely an author. So tell me about that. When did that come about? When did that happen?
2017.
2017? And you don't work in your book?
This is a revamp of the first book.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So 2017 is when the authorship, and I always wrote poetry all the time. Always wrote poetry. And what's so funny about that? Like I said again, it's always when you be taken upon rejection and all this. I had a third grade teacher, and that thing embedded in me for a long time to tell me I would never become a writer. Laugh now.
Yeah, I went through that in high school and college.
Yeah, I just actually had to have a conference with an instructor my last class too, and I told her, I said, I don't know, maybe it's the way you're not, this is your philosophy. I'm like, entitled. I'm take constructive criticism, but if you go to Amazon, you can see plenty of books that I'm in, best time sellers and all that type of stuff. So I don't know what, I don't know. Maybe we need to talk this out, but we
got something in common, you and I, because trust me. Okay. And I think that's one of the reasons why I participated in 6 anthologies and then created my own. So that makes me 7. And the 7th one is what got me over the charts and made me an award-winning author.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know where you're coming from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yes. Most definitely.
Wow.
But yeah, that's how that journey became. And then I've had some bad experiences. When we got to be careful when we doing certain anthologies and different stuff like that. You might get the cost of the badness, but that even pushed me even more to do stuff on my own. And it actually helped me to also do an anthology with people with integrity. Put it that way. Not everybody has the well-being of integrity. So,
I love it. Yes, speak the word. This show is all about the truth.
I will say, please do your research when you're doing anthologies. And I'm not
Mm.
saying, because, you know, right now that's a thing to make the dollar holler right now.
Yes,
So
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. Oh my God. Let me tell you, this show is all about the truth. So you could just let it out.
yeah, so yeah,
Okay? We
it
speak it
is what
real
it
here.
is. I mean, if you don't know, you can ask me. I can tell you what to look out
Oh,
for.
God.
I
And
actually, even in that, it actually helped me put a seminar on for people who wanted to become authors. And it actually, right now, I incline with a publishing company, Life with a View publishing company, as to help people who want to become inspired authors. And I actually help people too as well, just to give them the ropes, you know, to do self-publishing, because again, you know, it's easy if somebody, and it doesn't cost a lot neither.
yeah,
If you be sufficient enough, if people want to be truthful about it, but we know again that dollar wants to holler. But I just
yeah,
feel as though, and then let me bring this on back down to you. What you see is because I don't try to Jew people out. And that's why God continues to bless me and elevate me. As you said, Martine, you've seen it. That's the reason why. And I'm telling you, don't tell me I'm struggling sometimes with trying to get things, student loans or whatever else. But he still manages to uphold me. He
there's a
still
way.
manages.
Mhm.
I still have food on the table. I still manage to continue even to bless people with the little bit. And that's why God honors and continue to show favor on it, because he knows I have a heart for people. See,
Absolutely.
that's the thing. That is the most sufficient thing. I have a heart for people. I'm here for the people.
That is excellent. I know Tatita Love says, I used to do billing. Yes, I used to do billing at Methodist Hospital. That's my profession, all in medical billing, medical coding, healthcare administration. But I'm in a private sector now, so I've been working from home for a year, under another company and everything, and I'm very happy, blessed to be able to do that. And then do my show and do other things just from home. So yeah, like you stated, you sometimes we go through hardships no matter what, but the fact that you have integrity is one of the utmost things that you could have. Like, I think that's a gift within itself. Okay.
It really is. And I look to that, you know, when I've seen many people, I'll just give an example. I won't go to who, what, where, but I'll just give you a prime good example. There, at one point in time, there was, and the intentions were right.
Hmm.
There was one point in time we were part of something where we were a group to put together for the concept of a mother, you know, expressing your thing. Well, I've lost my mother. Of course, that fed on my intention, because I lost my mother. I want to share
Yeah.
that story of the mother. So it was like 100 of us from across this nation. So when the event came, and he kind of give us waivers, kind of listen to give you waivers. So he was like, I just couldn't get the plane tickets right to go to Charlotte that weekend. I couldn't get the hotel room. So eventually another lady who was in the area, she went along. She was in this book collaboration as well. So she drove and we went, whatever. So when we got there, things wasn't even like what it was. And I was like, oh my God. And after the event, I was like, are you kidding me? We came all the way to here and you expect us to do this, blah, blah, blah. And we were back in a shelter room of the hotel. Now
Hmm.
here's the thing. Again, giftings and many talents. I've been an event planner before. I've did people weddings. I know how I actually did travel. So I know how hotels and them run. You have to pay for any activity or extra extracurriculars that you want at the hotel. You either have to pay for that sound system, or you have to pay if you bringing in food, because if it's not their cater. So
Yes.
I'm arriving and it's getting revealed to me. So again, you got to be aware, but he gives us warning. For some reason, I couldn't get those tickets. And I was like, we got there. And I'm telling you, this person charged people a lot of money. And it was not sufficient to what it was supposed to be. So that was the reason why that type of stuff there was a lesson, and that's why I try to help others and give them the flags that I received or things that happened to me. I tell the story, and trust me, the circle runs, and it'll come back to you. And like I said, God's word don't come back to it void. It does not come back to you void, because even in the midst of this, the two collaborations that were funny have built me to meet these women who we were in a meeting together on the same platform in Georgia. One lady, she didn't get the book. I had the book. So I ended up giving her the book. I didn't get the book. The lady was there from the other one. So I got the book. So it all worked out for the good.
Awesome, awesome. I know exactly what you mean when you're talking about that experience, because I went through somewhat of an experience in that matter as well. A different case scenario, but it's the outcome is the same. Okay, so I totally do get it, and I'm glad that you have taken the opportunity to voice your opinion and your experience on behalf of the matter, because when I became an author, my first release story, that was in September of 2015. And it just so happened that I was contacted by someone, and they wanted to do a women empowerment movement where each woman shared their story to commemorate March 8th, which is International Women's Day. So I shared one of my stories, and that's how my journey started into authorship. And then it started to like unveil and continue on, one, anthology after the other. So that first experience, being a novice, was great. At the same time, there was a horrific side to it as well. Okay. So I already understand and know, what you went through, and you not really knowing sometimes, at least you had an idea of certain things. Like me, I had no clue of anything into authorship. I was brand spanking new, and a lot of the other women by my side were in the same boat as I. So we didn't really know until afterwards, and we started participating in other book journeys. And then we're like, wait a minute, and then you start making comparisons, and it's like, okay, so there's no one way to do this. Like, it's no right or wrong way. Like, there's a way to do everything, but the way that it was illustrated to us, like, this is the best way, and they've been doing this for years, it wasn't the correct way at all. So I totally get it. I totally get it. And I do commend you definitely for being able to just speak up on behalf of it, because there are some people who get really irritated. It's great to get an opportunity to become an author, share your story. Anthologies are a very simple way for you to get your work out there. But truthfully speaking, not that I'm downsizing or putting anything down, but the thing about it is you have to be really careful who you partner up with, who you join in the journey with. That head person is so important. And you have to study them. You have to be able to confide in them and be like, you know what, this is going to work, and I'm going to learn something on that journey as I go along, and so on and so forth, And I think you're probably one of those people we could do that with.
I've done three. One was in 2016 called Little Girls' Dreams Metamorphosizes into Women Realities. Last year in December, there was the Authentic Coaches for Mind, Body, and Spirit. And then we had another one, which is, we're supposed to be doing a documentary, but COVID hit, which was called Polished, Passionate, and Poised, Memoir for the World Leader. So it's been three, and I've had very good experiences with all of them. And every last one of the ladies have been phenomenal. And I had one man come aboard.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
that one man. Yeah, one man.
I like
Yes,
when men participate in anthologies.
yes.
There's one anthology that I participated in. It's Letters to My Father, where each person basically each author wrote a passage that they would be writing to their father. And that was a very difficult project for me
Mm-hmm.
because my father passed away right after I was born, basically.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was ultimately a difficult time, but I needed to do it because it was part of my healing process,
Mm-hmm.
with not being able to communicate like everyone else, like one to one, face to face with my father, you know? So I remember there were a few men on that project, and that was the only project where we had men. Like, it wasn't a quote unquote women empowerment project, because all of my anthologies have always been women empowerment
Women,
project,
right.
except for Letters to My Father, which is by Tammy Lewis. And that was everybody wrote pretty much a letter to their dad in that book. It's really beautiful, very sentimental. That was my most difficult project ever. And
It
yeah,
could be.
I
It could be if you don't have it timelined correctly. That's the one thing, and you got to make sure when you're. And this is another tip. I know we kind of talking about it, this is another tip. You got to make sure, because with me, I ask the questions. Do you have a problem with timelines? I do a little
yeah,
assessment beforehand, because if
yeah.
you tell me yeah, out.
That already
Because
gives it away.
if you have a problem, and I'm that's what I'm looking at. Do you have a problem following the instructions? Or, you got to make, because again, that one person can mess the whole project up,
Yeah,
so you got to look into that as well as one of the factors.
right.
To that. Yeah, but that's how it is. So
It
just
is.
beware. Writers beware.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so dope. I think you're gonna make something out of that. I wanna take the time to acknowledge Grown Girls NYC, who is in the
Yes.
building with us.
Welcome.
She is a very big supporter of the Martine Show. She's been on the Martine Show quite a few times because she be pumping. Okay, she always got something going on, always working on a project, always got a book release, always got activities. I mean, you name it. And she's also part of Achi. So I wanted to
Yes.
acknowledge her for coming through. One thing,
IG sisters.
yeah.
IG.
Another thing is that, so your songwriting sees the moment. I read your biography, and as you had mentioned earlier, um, this all came about like a turning point for you. It's a turning point project. Now, was there any moment in time that you were kind of a little bit doubtful, or maybe like, are they going to accept me because of my age, or was it something about your personas? Like, did you have any moment in time on that journey where you're like, let me pull back some?
Well, again, last year I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm not even gonna worry about the age, but I always bring in that factor that you're never. One of the things is I think I'm a liner, a forerunner for those who, okay, you can have the 86-year-old woman or man go back to school to college. I think because now as we look at it, as you look at any most of the shows, they stop a certain age limit for those to come on the shows, like their voice, and you have to be this certain age or whatever else. So I want to be the forerunner to let people know when you turn 50 or whatever age it is you're never too old to let your dreams manifest to reality. So that's just what this is inspiring about. And it's an inspiring message. The song is a message. I just, we need to seize a moment. And it was perfect because of the time of during the COVID. I think I've lost relatives due to COVID. I have friends who've lost their loved ones. And don't
Mhm.
count me wrong. I have empathy for all of that. but I do believe that was a time that God wanted us to really see the moment. And I got more open during that time. And it was so funny because March the 6th, that's when I had my big celebration. Like 2 weeks later, that's when you couldn't go anywhere. You had to, you could, everything shut down. So basically, a lot of people tell me, you know what, Michelle, your party was really the last party that we really got the party at before this
Yeah,
COVID. So they remember that. But then
that
when
is
we come back,
significant.
when we come back for the
Yeah,
release a couple weeks
yeah.
ago, they were like, man, this is so, and I told them, I said, it's always a significant sign, even for what this, I said, because this was written way back in 2017, but it came to
Mhm.
manifest at the right time as seizing a moment. So that's where it's so powerful. And then from the video, and again, I got to give thanks to Brenda Kirby and her mother. What for the past couple of years we have been tormented with racial, division and all this type of stuff. So even in the
Mhm.
song, if you watch the video, it's me and a white lady.
Mhm.
We're sitting there, the last state, we embrace hands. The older lady that's in the video, she's actually right now going through something health wise, but for her to
Mhm.
come to the release and say, you've given me something to take to my grave, a smile, a handshake, a smile, a hug can enlighten the one is the last state. When was
That's
the
pretty
last
deep.
time that we realized to take a smile to someone? Because you don't know, that can change instantly, change somebody's whole demographics instantly. So this is what that whole song is really about. When I wake up in the morning, I want to have inspiration. That's the path I take. We should always be constantly inspiring somebody in our pathway of our journey of the day. And not
Right.
saying every day is an old happy day, but even when it's not so happy, we still got to
Right.
keep our composure. I'm being honest. I'm being
Right.
transparent. You say this is true, right?
Is
Trust me, I didn't want to feel like I want to get out of bed this morning. But because I work in health, public health, I actually work with clients, I still got to beat the brunt, and I still can't let that change me for that day, because what I deal with, the population I deal with, one little last thing can really turn them back out, to put them back on something that can change their life and make it actually destroy their lives. So I need to make sure that I at least got to have a little bit of dose of inspiration in me, the path I take. That's part of the song. I always reveal those verses.
same thing with me. I totally understand where you're coming from. I mean, I've been in healthcare all my life, so and there was a point where honestly I was going through a lot of different let's say health issues, but I always showed up to work. Even if I was in pain, people could hardly tell that I probably was in pain. Only me,
Amen. I'm
you
right
know,
there now.
I did what I needed to do. And
Do what you need to do.
I mean, there was a time I was totally like mentally and emotionally unstable, but I mean, I'll go to a place by myself, lunch, I'll cry my heart out and come back, and I'll work until my time is done and I come home. A lot of times when I was doing like my book promotions and everything, before I had an interview or before I had to go to a pop-up show, I would have tears in my eyes and everything. And then I would do what I need to do and then come back and drop myself at home on the bed and be like, I called it a day.
Yes.
Thank God those things have been worked out for me, that I'm not in that state of mind,
Right.
anymore, which is awesome. But I know what it's like when you just have to show face. You just got to keep up with certain standards. And sometimes it's not even to just inspire another person, it's also to inspire yourself to keep moving forward.
Yourself. Because didn't David say sometimes you had to encourage yourself when nobody else was around? Sometimes we gotta
Yep.
just encourage ourselves. So that's the reason why, Martine, if you don't mind,
Hmm.
I didn't know if I should have, I want to read the words to the song.
Sure.
I think it's powerful. You can hear it you can hear it, but I think it's more powerful when I read it to really let people to really understand, without all the music in the background. But
Sure.
it's serenity, oh so sweet, we declare, a moment of time I shall spare. Inspiration is the path I take, the thought process when I awake, lifting and encouraging others to awaken their souls. Love is a useful tool and a great goal. A smile, a hug, or a handshake could enlighten the one who is at their last stake. Building relationships. Now, this is what really got me because, so many people on the hustle and bustle, we're after the money, we're after that wealth. But building relationships like we build wealth empires, take the time to seize a moment to inspire. Great creator, it is you who rules over me. As the cloud breaks, hunger, vision, and love, these are the things we dream of.
That was beautiful. It's like a perfect set of poetry just put together. And you saying that's the song?
That's the song.
Girl.
I don't know if I could. I wish I had. I don't know. I should have it.
Wow. That is
Um,
beautiful. So
let me.
let us know, where can anybody sign up to purchase your music?
So I am on all streaming: Apple, iTunes, Pandora, Spotify. And what I want to announce, Labor Day. I haven't put it out yet, so you guys are the first ones to know about this.
Exclusive.
You're getting the exclusive. So Labor Day, I am gonna do a campaign for Seize a Moment Day. It's called Message of Inspiration. So what I'm asking, because you know how you put background music on your TikToks or in Instagrams or Facebook, I want you to either show yourself even doing a Seize a Moment just for that day. So on Labor Day, September the 6th, I'm thinking it is. It's going to be a Seize a Moment Day.
Nice. Very, very nice. I want to take the time to acknowledge Dwayne Hurt, who's in the house with us, a super duper fan of the
Yes.
Martine show. He always comes through.
Yes, Dwayne.
Thank you so
Come
much for
through,
coming on
brother.
board.
Come through.
Yes. And he has a beautiful comment, strong Black women. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you. Strong Black male. Yes.
Yes. Oh, for sure. He is undeniably a strong Black man. Like, there's just no other way. Dwayne Hurt he's actually a movie director and producer, by the way. So if you working on any trailers, movies, or anything to do with that type of arena, he would be someone that you most likely would want to contact.
Well,
Because
thank you.
yeah,
We were working on a documentary for that Polished, Passionate, and Poised. So
he,
thank you. See, God knows what you
you
need
see
when
the
you need
connection?
it.
You see the connection?
Look at God.
There is a connection.
Yes. And Miss Grown's Girl New York, I am actually looking to do a Seize a Moment retreat. I do retreats as well, and I incorporate things for mind, body, and soul.
Mhm.
We were looking for some places in like New York to go, like if we rent a big house, maybe at the Hamptons, I don't know,
Mhm.
something like that for women or whatever to get together and just for that weekend and just come for relaxation and stuff. I would actually like to just do a poetry workshop for it. And you can turn your poetry into a song. So this is what happened.
Yeah.
This is proof in the pudding that this is what happened with Seize a Moment.
That is really, really nice. I mean, I did tell him that you were super talented. So here it is. One thing I want to ask you, your Achi nomination. How do you feel about that?
I and you know what's so funny about it? I didn't even know about it, but my husband nominated me. I already know who did it, but He nominated me,
That is so
and
sweet. I love it.
yeah, he did, because he was like, "You ain't heard? You supposed to heard something." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And my husband nominated me. So
Oh,
yes, yes, and I got the feedback what was said. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But he nominated me. I'm I'm blessed because in 2019 I won with the health and wellness, because I actually back then I had I still do my health and wellness, holistic health, dealing with electromagnetic therapies and stuff like that. But like I said, I do the retreats. It's all like the health and wellness retreats, for getaways and just stress management, little things like that as well. But I won in 2019 that award for the health and wellness first. Well, we're gonna see. I guess with this year there might be media and stuff, since I've broken into the podcast and stuff as
yes.
well. That very well last year, and I was really going really well. So yeah.
Nice. So, in 2019, where did you attend your ceremony?
In Baltimore.
I was there too.
In Baltimore, yes, in Baltimore, and we actually
I was there
came
too.
to the luncheon. Did you come to the luncheon downtown in Baltimore too?
No, I actually went to the Delaware luncheon.
Okay, okay,
I ended up, because the dates were like a little mixed up for me.
okay.
There's like I couldn't make the Baltimore luncheon day, so I went to the Delaware luncheon day. But I went to the Baltimore ceremony, and then I won 2019 community leader there.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I'm excited. I'm excited to see everyone again, and just see. I can see the growth in everyone. Since that, and that's what it's supposed to be. Like I was saying about the creativity, I just think that when he gives me stuff, I act on it. I pray about it and I act on it, but I always keep in mind he does not give us something to just let it sit there. We need to be watering it, feeding it, put a little bit of fertilizer to it, and then it needs to sprout growth, and then he gonna give you the increase, because you gotta step out. As again, I said, you gotta step out on faith. You gotta take action. As if you take one step, he gonna give you 5.
that is true, though. That is really true. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
like this
I'm a
show.
firm believer in that.
Hmm.
I'm just a firm believer in that. I really am. I really am. You gotta sometime take the risk. But if you know who hand is holding in your hand, you won't have to worry about it. Because again, and don't be scared to fail. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you gonna know? As they say, how you gonna know if something works if you got to think about the inventors, all these scientists. Every
That's
time they go
fine.
into the lab, that's why they take these these notes and all of that type of stuff. But you got to go back and
Hmm.
backtrack. You got to figure out what it
Yeah.
was until you get the perfect specimen. That's how I look at it, the perfect specimen.
I totally agree, and you're so right about that. I mean,
Yeah.
I,
Don't be
I,
afraid
li-
don't be afraid to lose in some things, because
yeah,
if there's a lesson in loss.
that is true. That is true indeed. I mean,
I'm throwing off a whole bunch of titles here tonight. I'm like,
no, but you're on point. You're so on point, and it all makes sense. And I know that somebody definitely could pick it up and take away something from everything that you stated, because it's real. It is so
it's
real.
real, real
Um,
talk.
Same thing, stepping out on faith. Like, I didn't have this show before. This show for me started last year, and if I wasn't part of Achi, I would have never been doing this. You know, never. Okay, Achi's sparked my healing process, because I remember when I went to Achi, I was just pretty much all over the place emotionally. Dealing with many different aspects of my life. Trying to move forward and recover, but not knowing how.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
After I I was connected with Archie, it was very much God sent for me. I became more instilled into my faith, into God, uh, dived into a healing process that I really was not aware that I was diving into a healing process. I embraced it, and next thing you know, I just started finding more healing mechanisms one after the other. And here I am today. Like, I have this show, where I give my time to people, trying to connect and get to know people, celebrating people, appreciating people for who they are and what they have to offer. I would have never done that before. I would have put myself on the forefront like that because I didn't think that was enough to do so. In 2020, I started doing videos on this app called Rizzle. I met a whole bunch of people. I was by myself basically because I didn't know anybody there. I went and I just started putting myself on video. And that was a major step out of faith for me, because I'm like, I actually have to show my face. There's nothing to write. I got to show up. I got to talk. Okay. you know, just like doing the lives for me here, this is like regular. I'm cool with it, but I could not do this if I didn't go through the process as I was explaining before. There's no particular way. So I'm totally grateful, and I totally understand where you're coming from with everything, because what you're saying is exactly real. I live it. I live it. And there are some days, honestly, where it gets a little tough for me. I just step back a little bit, but I still come back. So that's the good part of it.
That's the good thing. You come back.
Long time ago, I would have been like, oh, hell no. We done.
But that's the thing. You come back.
Yes.
You come back. That's the key. You come back.
Yeah.
Something dosed in fire for you to come back,
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I love being able to connect with everyone on this platform, on this level. It's a gift for both of us.
Yes.
At the same time. So on that note, the question that you have for the people, we have 2 in the chat that stayed. A couple of them actually left, but you can still ask the question.
So the question, if anyone out there or whoever might catch the replay, I don't know, but the question is to ask. I had put in my bio about some of the legendary singers that I can say that I had to listen to that actually got me into the singing as a young child. So if anybody can inbox me or put down here in the comments of any one of those, well, what I will say, one of latter day, older, seasoned singers, and then name one of the today singers that I placed into the bio.
So the prize giveaway, we're not going to tell you what the prize giveaway is. However, the question to get to the prize giveaway is that you have to read the bio, number 1, because you got to know how to answer, because the answer is in the biography for Michelle Boulden-Hammond. That's number 1. Number 2 is she has songwriters and songstress and songwriters basically who inspired her for her to get into her songwriting and performing and everything. Who were those people? They have an older version, and then they have a more younger version. So if you could mention one of them, or can they mention both? Mention one of them, which the answer is in the bio, then that will qualify you for the prize giveaway. And that's all courtesy of Miss Michelle Boulden-Hammond. So you guys got to thank her for that.
So they'll actually get the book. They'll get the book, and they will get a CD.
See, you're going to get her book that's been out since 2017. Okay. And you're going to get the new and improved version. All right. The rephrased version. And then you're going to get her CD, which is Seize the Moment.
Seize the Moment.
Seize the Moment. Hot on the press. Okay.
I'm
And this
actually,
is,
I might can. I think I got it. Hold on. They might be able to hear it.
all right, she's going to give you a little bit of an anecdote right now. I'm so glad you're here doing this show with us.
If you
I'm
pay
so happy
less
to
for
have you
auto
on.
insurance, but the coverage and service let you down, you might suffer from saver's remorse. This song is dedicated to those who need a little inspiration. Take the time to seize the moment. Serenity, oh, so sweet. We declare a moment of time I should spare. Inspiration is the path I take. The thought process when I awake. Lifting and encouraging others to awaken their souls. Love is a useful tool and a great goal. A smile, a hug, or a handshake could enlighten the one who is at their last day. Building relationships like we build well empires. We gotta take the time to seize the moment.
Hmm.
Seize a moment. Seize gotta take a moment.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And your voice is so illuminating. Oh my
To
goodness.
God be the glory.
Yes. Oh my goodness. This was phenomenal. Wow. I'm so taken by your voice. Ah! I love that part.
So as again, you can go to Apple iTunes. You can go to Spotify. There's Pandora. There's all the streaming devices. TikTok, and Instagram. You can pull it up as one of your songs. Facebook, you can pull it up as your songs. Yeah, most of the streaming places you can get it.
That is awesome. And if people want to follow you on Instagram, where should they follow you?
So they can follow me at Upfront Mind, Body, Soul.
Upfront, mind, body, soul. I will also be tagging her. I've actually tagged her on all of the posts related to her. So you guys will find it, but I will tag the live as well so that you can follow her, stay updated with Michelle Boulden-Hammond. Remember that name. Because when that name gets out there on the charts, you're going to be like, oh, she interviewed on the Martine show. I was watching her.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then on my Facebook, you can find Michelle B. Hammond, singer songwriter. You can find it for my Facebook.
Okay. And she is nominated for Archie Magazine Awards second time.
Yes. Mm. It's
That's
happening.
that's big. I think that's big.
It is. I'm excited. I'm just excited. Like again, I tell you, it's favor. You
Hmm.
just keep doing what you're supposed to. I say when you take care of God's people, He's gonna take care of you. And I
Yeah,
just say that He's gonna take care of you, and I try to do the best I can, of service. Everything I do is about service and service to others. It's not about me. None of this stuff that I do about me. It's for others and being a service. I'm in the service mode. So
that's awesome, and I'm glad you shared that because you know what? It's that mentality that actually creates longevity
yep.
when you're working on something. You know, um, I tend to see that when you just think about yourself, there are times where you may not show up or you just may just be a little lax because you're like, oh, I'm not feeling it right now, so I'm just not going to do anything. But when it's not about you,
Yep.
then it's a learning curve for not only you, but also the other people involved. And it's
Mm-hmm.
very inspirational and it could be motivational as well. So I do thank you for mentioning that part because that's a very solid, important part um, for people to understand that it's not always going to be about you. And if it's not, it's okay because there's a time and a place for everything.
Right. Timing. Seize in a moment. That's it. Seize in the moment.
Yes.
It's the time and a place. It says in Ecclesiastes, a time to mourn, time for laughter, time to so it's all of that. So, this is the
Mhm.
time. But again, I tell people it's from stuff that's been sown way many, many, many moons and years. Nobody was there when I was crying down in the deep dirt. Nobody was there when I was homeless with my child. And, my pride was in the way, but again, nobody was there, but this is all the benefits of what's happening. No one was there when your mom didn't raise you, and all of that type of stuff. So again, and you have these are all the growing pains to what the fruit of it is now of the labor. So that was laboring. So now I say now I'm not there all the way there yet, but I'm sure find the railway to trailblaze it to there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving
Thank
us your
you.
time
Thank
today.
you so much for having me. Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in, for all the ones who have watched or all those who are catching the replay. I hope you would be inspired of anything that I've said to you. Again, it's I thank you so much because you didn't have to be here. So I thank you, and I just ask that God gives you special blessings because you done sowed a seed into me, and just by being on tonight. So Godspeed on whatever your hands to do. I just pray that you get special blessings upon whatever the work that you have to be done to help others.
Thank you so much for everything. I mean, Michelle Boulden-Hammond came on here, blasted off, told us how to make it all happen at the age of 50. Okay. And it's not too late, guys.
Not
So
too late.
that's a very important message for those of you who might have thought that it's too late or your time has passed. It just is no way that you could determine that for yourself, as Michelle Boulden-Hammond has stated. The whole thing is just to pick up from where you are, you
Yep.
know,
Yes.
and everything that you have gone through in this lifetime, as she stated, and I can testify to that, they're all sowing seeds. Those are seeds that you have sown until you get to the point where you're more comfortable. And a lot of the tears that we have gone, shed and all the ups and downs and mishaps all happen for a reason, part of the journey for us to get to where we are today, even though you may not be exactly where you want to be, but you're definitely in a better place than a few years ago, where you were a
Yes.
few years ago. So that is something to acknowledge and honor for yourself and then praise your God for. So I want to take the time to thank you. Thank you for covering all the important parts of your life that falls under all the categories necessary for the Martine Show, which is self-love, self-development, self-love, self-awareness, self-development, and everything social. You definitely hit it off for us right off the bat, and I love it. So thanks again, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
around. And blessings upon blessings on your endeavors. Have a
Yes.
good one.
Same
Take
to you.
care.
Have a blessed night.
You too. Good
Until
night.
then. Bye.